All right, Tobin, got to go back to your FDU time period. When you saw the bracket, what gave you the belief that FDU as a 16 could beat number one Purdue?
Well, it was all about the style, right? So we knew we're fairly athletic, we're fairly quick, we could press, and we knew that wouldn't bother like teams like Houston, um, Kansas, people like that. We kind of thought maybe Purdue being in the Big Ten, being maybe not as experienced in the backcourt, we could cause them problems just with the matchups, you know. I know obviously you got Zach Edey, so that was a major problem. So we're like, well, maybe we could just cause them problems and Zach will still score 50, but we'll try to keep it close or something like that. So I think we thought the style might cause some issues. I think we had really good guards, so I thought that might listen, it was going to be hard no matter who we played. We just thought of all this, we knew we were going to be a 16 seed, so of all the one seeds we could play, we thought that'd probably be the best matchup for us stylistically.
What's it like to know that you've busted brackets everywhere?
I get reminded about it quite a bit. There's a lot of people who still talk about it. I mean, it's like, I've tried to move on for the most part, but especially as we get closer back to March now and we're playing and the tournament's starting up and everything's going, it's like you hear a lot. Listen, I love it. It was a great experience. It was a great thing. And they call it the biggest upset in NCAA tournament history. So we're happy about that. It was exciting. So yeah, no, it was a great listen, it was a great thing. And yeah, you won't ever forget it, and our players won't ever forget it, and FD won't ever forget it. So it was awesome.
If you were filling out a bracket last year, and I don't know if you did, would you have picked FDU to beat Purdue?
Of course. What kind of question is that? Of course you would. Of course, I did not fill out a bracket, but I would have had to pick FD over Purdue. So yeah. It's funny when you get in the tournament, like you're so immersed in what yourself in your next game and stuff. I didn't even really look at the brackets beyond. Like I'm not even sure I knew, what was beyond, if the Florida Atlantic Memphis. I'm just
Right.
like, right, we win the first game, we get to Purdue and beat Purdue. Well, that's gonna be a hard task to do. So I mean, I really hadn't looked that far ahead at the whole bracket. So, but yeah, I would have picked FD over Purdue.
Going forward, now we've seen it twice. What are the key elements for a 16 or maybe even a 15 like St.
Yep.
Peter's to knock off a one or a two?
Well, I think the style part's huge. I think to play a style, it's a little bit different. Whether it's you play a lot of zone or you press or you have unbelievable quickness or speed or just to be different. You can't beat a team that plays the same as you. You can't beat them. That's kind of I think why Ivy League teams like why is Princeton hard to play against in the NCAA tournament because they're a little bit different than the teams they play against. So I think the style part's important, and I think just the team that comes in with a lot like a little chip on their shoulder, trying to prove themselves. I think St. Peter's year before us last year, chip on her shoulder, trying to prove themselves, trying to when you get a chance to take on the big boys and do that, that's an awesome thing. But I also think having we had two fifth-year senior guards, like having experienced guys, especially now with the climate the way it is. If you got a little bit of experience, a little bit of our guards had been in the NCAA's Division II they've been to Sweet 16 every year, so they were used to NCAA games. They're not playing in front of 20,000 people on national TV, but I think having some experience goes a long ways.
And lastly, what about when you get a lead late? How do you guard against getting tight?
Yep.
Even though you may have the crowd in your favor as the underdog, how do you finish it off?
That's the thing I think was most impressive for our guys was how they just played loose and they made plays and they weren't afraid of the moment at all because as a coach you're just waiting for something to go wrong. You just think, oh hell, you're up by five with a minute and a half. What could go wrong here? You're up by two with 8 seconds to go. What could go wrong here? So you just got to make plays. Like at the end of the day, you got to make plays, make shots, and what I mean, it's a great opportunity for guys I mean, our guys will remember that the rest of their lives. So it's just a great opportunity to cement themselves in the history of NCAA basketball. So, you got to go play free, you got to make plays and enjoy the moment.
Awesome. Thanks, Tobin.
Thanks, Andy.